city of Peters. The first thing I want to do is acknowledge all the people to the right and left of me on the stage, and just thank you guys for putting us in these positions. We really couldn't be here without you guys, and again, just want to thank you guys. I'm honored to be a representative of the Federalist Party for the judge of the Court of Appeals. I feel that it's really humbling being able to be in this position, and I just want to thank my party for putting your support in me. However, what I think about this position that's kind of unique is whether you're from which party or not, this position is really independent from these parties. I feel that when you're talking about the state of New York law, it doesn't matter what party you're from. It really just matters about upholding the integrity of it. I'm from Long Island, and in my school, Northwood High School, I have taken many classes that have allowed me to study the New York state law. And what I've found that's been true for years, the New York state law doesn't really depend on what party you're about. It just matters that you're upholding the integrity of it and working with the peers. I feel that if elected in this position, I'll be able to represent everyone equally, either party, either county, and I just really want to thank you again. And on a very serious note, if elected, I will make sure that my court has up-to-date NBA free agency rumors, so thank you.
Next up, I will bring the Nationalist Party chairman up to the floor. They will introduce their first justice candidate.
For the Nationalists, our first Justice of Courts candidate is Dan the Law Tabaz, 0269.
Good morning, gentlemen. A quick clarification, my number is 0883. All right, so my name, Daniel Tabaz, like I said, 0883. If you like me, write it down in your book. Remember to vote for me. I'm not going to bore you with all my credentials because I know none of you actually care, and I want to keep this speech nice and short and sweet. So I like to think of myself as a funny guy. I'm a lighthearted guy. I sling jokes with the boys, all right? I'm a nice guy, but there's one thing in my life that I take seriously, and that is the law. The law, gentlemen, the law. So why would I be a good judge, right? What qualifies a good judge? Well, right now, I'm judging all of you. I judge people every day. That's a great quality of a judge. When I was in 8th grade, I won a writing competition at my school. I was offered a trip to Albany to see how New York state law works, or a free trip to the Cheesecake Factory. I ate so much cheesecake that day. That was a judgment I had to make. Boys, if you elect me, I promise to be fair and honest and reputable. I'm not gonna, stand up here and tell you that I'm the president of my mock trial team or that I've actually practiced law, because I haven't. I'm a teenager, all right? But if you vote for me, I promise to keep things light, keep things happen. All right, 0883, Pedro County, Daniel Tabaz. Thank you very much.
Federalist chairman, please come up, introduce your candidate.
Our next candidate is Taylor Deep Fryer.
Thank you. I am Taylor Fryer, number 0086, and I am here to try to be a justice. The idea of a justice, to be a neutral candidate, not obey what your opinions are, but to go for what the law says, to be good to all the people, not just those who share your beliefs. Interpret the law and give the punishments or no punishment for what is needed. No matter what my opinion is, I will give you what you need. I've been a part of youth and government for 5 years, a part of the Judicial Committee 2 years in a row. 1 year I was nominated as one of the best speakers, and 1 year I won as one of the best court briefs. The entire idea of this is to be the most neutral candidate you can find, and I find I can fill that job. To be just and fair to all of you, no matter if I know you, if I don't, if I believe in what you broke, if I believe in the law itself. It's the idea of whatever it says must be obeyed. Thank you.
The Nationalists' second Justice of Courts candidate is Lucas Cox Cozent, 0189.
How's it going, guys? I'm Lucas Cozent, 0189. I am from
McNeely County in the city of Kaiser. Let's hear from McNeely. All right, so I want to start this off with a quick story. March 23rd, 2019, at precisely 3:45 p.m., I experienced one of the most traumatic events in my life. I was hanging out with my friend, relaxing, then a police officer approached me. Apparently, you're not allowed to fish without a license. That gave me the perspective of the other side of the courtroom. I would now like to open up a question for my fellow judge candidates. Have any of you ever been a judge on a real court case before? If so, please raise your hand. I have been a member of the Ontario County Youth Court for over 1 year. I have sat in on over 10 real trials prosecuting youth. I have been the judge on over 5 trials, 5 real court cases. My county has a 93% rate of people not reoffending. I will help Boise State through the principles of restorative justice to lead our great state into prosperity. I come from a line of fighters. My great-grandfather was in the United States Air Force on D-Day. He fought for our freedom. My grandfather fought in Vietnam. He fought for our freedom. My father fought for our freedom. I am here, and I will fight for New York State's freedom and for our legislation.
The next federal candidate is Vidar Hazeman.
Order. I just want to make sure that everybody stays quiet. This is very important.
Name is Vidar Hageman, number 1098. So I'm here from Rohan County, and I'm gonna keep this short and simple because honestly, I'm losing my voice. I'm tired. A lot of you probably are. I just want to sleep. But so basically, I'm gonna be a fair justice. I'm gonna be on the principles of reason, responsibility, and respect. In my courtroom, there's gonna be respect. I have respect for the Constitution, Second Amendment, the most important amendment. I also believe that if you're going to be in my courtroom, I'll judge you with fairness, but also I'm not going to be overly hard on you. I don't believe in the government interfering in everything and trying to make rules for this and that because I live by a motto: my business isn't your business, and your business isn't my business. So I try to stay out of it, and that's gonna be how I'm gonna live. I want you guys to be free, be happy. Like, some of the rules here make me want to rip my hair out, and I love my hair. So I don't know, so. Yeah, if you want freedom, if you want peace, if you just basically want to be chill, listen to some country music, listen to Kendrick, listen to Luke Combs. I'm your guy.
The Nationalist's third Justice of Courts candidate is John Arthur, a.k.a. John Marshall, 0057.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name's John Arthur, otherwise known as the second coming of John Marshall. My number is 0057. Today, I am honored to stand here in front of you as a candidate for our Court of Appeals. I'd like to start by telling you all that everyone on this stage has something to bring to the table. Most people on this stage have a background in constitutional and international law, such as myself. All of you know what a judge does. But let me tell you what I know I can do to set myself apart from my peers. I'm damn proud to be up here right now. And I'm telling you right now, I am passionate for law. I will tell you right now that if my peers on the court are more experienced, I will do everything in my power to be just as good, better. I will be better. I will work, and I will work until I'm the best possible candidate for this court. My love for the law started with the American Civil Liberties Union, and I was a member as well as an attendee for many of their programs. I learned what it meant to be an American. I learned what it meant to be proud of my country, the best country on this planet. International law influences me every day in my presidency of my Amnesty International Club. My fellow citizens, if you honor me with a position on this court, I promise you that I will do my best, and it's my absolute pleasure to serve you. Thank you. 0057.
Getting sabotaged up here. All right, next we've got Ryan D. Reynolds.
Hey guys, my name's Ryan D. Reynolds. I'm from Spafford County, the city of Governor. First off, I want to say thank you for my boys in blue, the Blue Juice Gang. What's up? I'd like to thank you guys for voting me in. My number is 0940. First off, I would like to say that I'm from a absolutely puny town of 400 people. My school has like 200 people in it. So I don't exactly get a bunch of opportunities. So I grab everyone that I can, and one like this would be a fantastic opportunity for me. I believe that I was raised on fair and justice morals of treating people the way you want to be treated, looking at the people in the eye and truly judging them for who they are. If you guys play sports, most of you might. I'm on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So I am a representative of Section 5 athletics. And we make the rules, we talk about the rules, we pass the rules. I just believe that I would be a fair candidate because I'm fair and justice, and I will treat you guys the way that I would like to be treated. It's the golden rule, guys. Thank you. 0940.
Our fourth candidate for Justice of Courts from the Nationalist Party is James Young, aka Mr. America 0693.
Good morning, Boys State. My name is James Young, 0693, and I'm from Wong County. I want to be your Justice of Court Appeals. But what makes me qualified for such a prestigious position? Well, for this past year, actually these past 2 years, I've been on mock trial, and we beat the state champions. That means that the judge thought we were the best team. We were better than the state champions. Not only this, I was the lead attorney for that matchup. I was also named captain of my mock trial team, and I won our school's mock trial award. Through my time as a mock trial captain on the mock trial team, I've worked with many judges, even acting Supreme Court judges. What I have learned and gained is experience. I have learned how judges can be swayed and how they cannot be swayed. I will not be swayed. I will be fair and just. I will focus on the law and make sure that people stick to the law. What I will do is I will support the United States legal system, the best in the world. Furthermore, I will support the United States of America, the best country in the entire world. Thank you, and vote James Young, 0693, for a fair and just justice, and for America. Thank you.
All right, next we have Mike DeAngeles. DeAngeles.
Good morning, boys. My name is Mark DeAngelis, not Mike DeAngelis, but my number is 0778, and all these boys up here, they have amazing accomplishments like, I talk to Supreme Court Justice and stuff like that, and like, realistically, most people here don't have the chance to do that, and I'm one of those kids who don't. And I really don't do much of stuff like that. I just play sports and am a proud American. But I believe in fairness and equality and integrity, and that's how I will run my courts, on those three main morals. And also, I promise to keep my courts quick, because no one likes to waste a whole day in court. Thank you guys. Vote for me. Vote for Mark D. 0778.
Our fifth candidate for Justice of Courts in the Nationalist Party is Josh Man69 Ostrowski 0423.
All right, what's up, dudes? I'm Josh Ostrowski, number 423 from Fish County over there, my boys. And yeah, I know no one likes long speeches. I'm keeping this short. And I know all the candidates up here are all equally qualified for this position. So I'm not going to list any of my previous accomplishments because none of you really give a shit about that. So it doesn't matter.
We cannot use any inappropriate language during speeches. I would just like to clarify that for all the rest of the candidates. I'll let it pass once.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a little story because I'll try to entertain you a little bit. So me and the boys go to our local bookstore, pick up some chicks, like normal, and I see some dude stealing something, and I know that ain't right, so I confront him and say, dude, don't do that, that ain't it. And he says whatever, he doesn't really care, and he gets away with it. But my level of authority, I really couldn't do anything about that. And just a side note, I'm pretty sure he sideswiped someone with a milk truck about that in jail now, but whatever. That's irrelevant. So, yeah, the point is, I knew right from wrong, and I will follow all of the rules to this, and I will be in the best interest of the people. Thank you, guys. Josh Ostrowski, number 423.
All right, next we've got Aiden Simonet.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Aiden Simonetti, not Aiden Simonet, to clarify. My number is 0732, and I'm going to be honest, I had a speech prepared, but circumstances have arisen. I'm going to start off by saying that this week has been the best and worst of my life so far. I've had the chance to come here and meet all of you, and fortunately been elected or nominated to be a Supreme Court Justice and Court of Appeals judge by the Federalist Party. Around mid-afternoon yesterday, I got a phone call from headquarters, and I found out that my grandmother passed last night. And I've been struggling with it for the last 12 hours, 14 hours. I don't know how long I've been, but I was supposed to go home today, and I wasn't going to run. I was going to seed. And I got another phone call from my parents. They wanted me to stay. They wanted me to finish what I started. They knew I ran. They knew I got nominated. They knew I got mayor of my city, Wong County, shout out. But I've been torn. And I know now that I'm going to stay. I'm going to run for nominee. I'm going to run for judge. I'm a fair-minded individual. I'm very passionate about the law. This is my dream as of right now, and I won't let you down. I promise you that. If there's anything I can do, is live up to what I promise. Thank you. 0732.
Our sixth candidate for Justice of Courts from the Nationalist Party is John Jackhammer Whidden, 0575.
Hello, my name is John Whidden, number 0575. And first off, before I start, I'd like to give my condolences to my fellow nominee over here. I apologize for the passing of your grandmother. I hope for the best. So I'm running for judge, and here's why I think I should be judge. I am a man of the people, and I know everybody else says that they're a man of the people, but you know what a man of the people does? He makes people happy. And you know what makes people happy? Free stuff makes people happy. So I'd like to come here, and I'd like to give as many people as I can as much free stuff as I can. So here, come get this.
Yeah! All right. My name is John Whidden, and vote 0575 for more free stuff. All right, guys. So, the last nominee for the federal party is Jacob Woodnett.
That is an N.
All right, how we doing, gentlemen? First of all, I'd like to say my name is Jacob Woodruff, not Jacob Woodman. My number is 0582. I'm from the county Scheiberling in the city Mitras. Now, if you've seen me, some of you might be wondering about why my eye looks messed up. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was walking through the city, volunteering my time, picking up trash, when a tiger attacked me. It clawed my eye out, and in the process of defending myself, I was blinded. Now, I'm not going to give you a list of random achievements and positions that I hold at my school that are irrelevant, but I am going to tell you about my experience in a courtroom. I'm my mock trial captain at my school. We won our county championship, and I won the mock trial award. At the prestigious summer leadership experience at West Point, I was awarded the mock trial award as well. Now, more important than my experience is my dedication to equality and fairness. I come up here as a Federalist, but as your court judge, party would not matter to me. No man in a courtroom should be judged by his political ideologies, but instead, the content of his actions and deeds. In my courtroom, I would be a strong proponent of stand your ground and capital punishment. Now remember, gentlemen, a vote for 582 is a vote for justice. Thank you.
Our last and seventh candidate for the Justice of Courts from the Nationalist Party is Charles Dedication Sheldon, 0281.
Hello, everyone. My name is Charles Sheldon. 0281 is my number. I am from Cogatech County, but I'm really here for you all. Well, first, just going to quickly go into some things about me, and I also want to say I'm just so privileged to be up here, and I thank you all so much for this opportunity. Well, you know, like a lot of these other guys, I am the president of my moot court team. My mock trial team got 3rd place in the state in this past year, and I also went in an internship with Mars, the candy company. My fellow candidate probably tossed some of those candies out to you. And I worked with their legal team for copyright infringement and all sorts of that stuff. So I have a lot of real-life experience with civil courts and things like that. And in my years of law at school, I also have knowledge of criminal law and all that. And I've also served as a judge for my school's in-house tournaments. And really, as a judge, I just look
at everything with a neutral viewpoint, just look at what's in the Constitution and determine what's fair, not based on what I think, but based on that. But that's enough about me. Let's talk about you. You all, like me, are citizens of the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. And here at Boise State, I will proudly represent you all as a just, knowledgeable, impartial, and dedicated judge at the Court of Appeals. I humbly ask that you please vote for me and offer me this grand opportunity to serve you all. Thank you so much.
Next up, we will begin the speeches for the candidates of Comptroller, Attorney General, and Lieutenant Governor. These speeches will have they'll be allotted 2 minutes each for their speeches, the same as the justices. And first, I will announce the nominees for each party within those positions. And I would like to reiterate that I strongly suggest to write down each of these people's numbers and possibly names if you want, and keep track of which candidates you think are the best. So starting with the Federalist Party, we have for State Comptroller 716 Patrick Cullen. Please stand up. Attorney General 1012 Obi Nowako. Lieutenant Governor 396 Brandon O'Brien. And for the Nationalist Party, we have the State Comptroller Sam Walls 353. Attorney General 977 Keith Shapansky. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. And last but not least, Lieutenant Governor 269 Angel Gail Moreno. So now, since the Federalist Party won the coin toss, we will switch and alternate the candidates for Comptroller over to the Nationalist Party speaking first. So I would like to invite the Nationalist Chairman to please bring up his candidate for Comptroller.
The Nationalist Party's candidate for State Comptroller is Sam Wonderbread Walls 0353.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm a little nervous and I've really got to pee, so I'm gonna make it pretty darn quick, right? I wanna be comptroller because I'm pretty much like all y'all. I really like money. I like money a lot. I like accounting, I like real estate, I like the stock market. I think it's just pretty cool. I've been into it for a while. So I am up here representing my city, my county, and also my party. But all three of those things show division. I don't want division. I want the unity of Boise State together as one. Because without us together as a whole, we are weak. I am from a small town. It's Fishers Island, New York. A lot of people haven't heard of it. There's more people in this room right now than there are in my entire actual town. It's kind of crazy. I've never spoken to this many people before. And I don't know about y'all, but coming here and having this experience has really raised my confidence a whole lot. And I'm loving it. I'm loving this experience a lot. And I want to make Boise State the best it can. I want to make my mama proud. I love all y'all. Vote Sam Walls 353.
Federalist Chairman, come up. Please introduce your candidate.
Our candidate is Patrick Cullen.
I'm a little shorter, so I'm going to move this down. All right. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Patrick Cullen, number 0716 from the great county of Wong. But today, I'm representing the American Legion Boys State. I seek your vote as State Comptroller because I believe my high level of economic literacy and my civic responsibility and my business acumen makes me a good candidate for the job. I've always had an interest in economic theory. As a kid, I read the works of Adam Smith and Milton Friedman, and that made me a big proponent of laissez-faire economics, free market capitalism, as state comptroller, I will act in accordance to these beliefs. I will minimize bureaucratic intervention in our economy, but I will acknowledge the financial legislation passed by our great Senate and Assembly. I realize that we, as both parties, have had the common goal of increasing funding, public funding for certain institutions while lowering taxes, and the only way to do that is by following, in my opinion, is by following the Laffer curve, which is a pillar of Reaganomics, and I am very well-versed in that, and I will follow that. Bit about myself, VP of NHS, no one really cares. Pretty good at LEGO Star Wars, pretty good at Luigi Circuit 2 on Mario Kart Wii, but I'd like to use my platform as a broader social commentary. I was the first candidate in the Federalist Party to rebut non-serious candidates. Unlike most other politicians, I pride myself on my honesty and my pragmatism. As funny as it may be to meme around and clown around, we're not clown state. And so we've elected kids on tired jokes and infectious chants. I believe in a way we're participating in democracy, but I think in a way we're making a mockery of it. But we are the generation that will preserve democracy. We'll be the generation that can be remembered for saving democracy for the rest of the world. So I would just appreciate your vote. I appreciate everyone from getting me up here, and we do not want another election cycle like marred by vitriol. Thank you.
That's time. Next up, we have our candidates for Attorney General. Please be quiet while the candidates speak. I would just like to reiterate that. So first up, we have to alternate back to the Federalist Party, which is going to go first with their speeches. So Federalist Chairman, please introduce your candidate.
Our candidate is Obi Nwako, the Monster 1012.
Welcome, Nationalists, and welcome, Federalists. My name is Obi Nwako, and my number is 1012, but I'm not surprised if many of you haven't heard my name before. So I'll let you know what they call me back in my county. They call me the Monster. And I know what some of you are thinking. I mean, this guy's a monster. I mean, look at him. He's skinny. He's about like 125 pounds wet. How can he be a monster? He must be a joke. But let me tell you something. I'm not a monster because of what I look like. I'm a monster because of what's in here. My heart. Because I will be motivated, downright dedicated to each and every single one of you. Motivated, downright dedicated. I will not stop trying for you guys. Speech and debate has taught me how to be a speaker. And I will not be afraid to advise the governor, and anyone else who needs my advice. Mock trial has taught me about the law, and I will not be afraid to advise anyone I have to, and keep to what you guys want. And finally, Boys State has taught me how to be a follower and when to be a leader. So let me lead you guys now. Because if you vote me for Attorney General, I'll give you guys the world. Because that's what it takes to be a monster. So don't vote for the regular man. Vote for a monster. Thank you.
The Nationalist candidate for Attorney General is Keith Big Country Shapansky, 0977.
How's everybody doing today? My name is Keith Shapansky. I'm running for Attorney General. I'm a three-sport varsity athlete, an Eagle Scout, and I'm a proven leader. My number is 0977. I do a lot of research on the current Attorney General of the United States, William Barr. I think he's an outstanding Attorney General, and I'd like to follow in his path. I'm very interested in this kind of stuff. I'm really glad to be here, guys. I'm loving the experience I'm getting, and I think I could really do really well at Attorney General, and I'm going to follow the law. I don't discriminate against party lines. I include everybody, and I'm an actual size of a monster, not a little man, so that's good.
quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. All right, speeches for Lieutenant Governor are up next. Please be respectful of the candidates. They've worked hard on this. So first up, we have. Who went first? You guys went first? So Federalist Chairman, please come up.
The Nationals candidate for Lieutenant Governor is Angel Gail Moreno, 0269.
Hey, hello, Boy State. I'm Angel Gubernatorial, 0269. I came to you not just as a nationalist, but as a representative of Boy State 2019 as a whole. I was born and raised in Panama. At the age of 8, I came here because Panamanian government was treating their people like toys, playing and abusing their society. When I grew up in Panama, I saw rampant pollution. The enforcement was horrible and corrupt government. But when I came to the United States, I thought Panama normal. But when I came to the United States, I moved here to the great, great nation. Another reason why I came to the United States was because it was the #1 country in the world. Am I right? I want to take this position seriously. Both parties can change the world by having a voice. I will be blind towards party loyalty when appointing various state positions. This will help diverse the state government, allowing both parties to be heard. I am now the NJROTC commander, battalion commander at Graphics Campus NJROTC unit. I have led my 375 and counting cadets to various success, including leadership, drill, and knowledge. And some of my cadets are here now, including my maintenance, operations, physical fitness officer. Even though I'm from Panama, the United States, it's way better. Best nation in the world, I'm just telling you. No cap. And remember, we're not black, we're not white, we're not nationalists, we're not federalists. I said it wrong, but we're all Americans. That's it.
Our nominee is Brandon O'Brien.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Brandon O'Brien, number 0396, and I'm only wearing the hat because I've got crazy hat hair from doing cafeteria patrol all week. But anyways, I wanted to get started with, I know we all have our own qualifications. I am the Command Sergeant Major of my JRDC, but this isn't about me. This is about what we could do together as Boys State. I alone can't do anything, but I can represent you guys in the Senate and in the legislature, because as Lieutenant Governor, my power would be the President of the Senate. That's in the nature of the job. So I'm going to be real. I'm not going to pull out a pocket constitution and then just read off the laws and tell you how I'm going to run this place. I'm going to level with you guys. I can't promise phones or a war with Girls State. I'll promise reality. I'll promise that I'll give you 110% work ethic and 110% transparency, okay? Some of the juices in the cafeteria, it's all Gatorade. I can't be the know-all, be-all guy. I will be the people's person. I come from a medium-sized town, but this is way bigger than anything I've really been a part of, and I'm absolutely ready to take the next step for each and every single one of you. I don't have a special upbringing. I'm a first-generation American, but that's about it. I don't have any hardships, but I do believe that I could listen to everybody, and I'm Chow Patrol, so if you ever want to talk to me, if you want to run something by, and if you want to get something implemented in the state, you could find me in the Chow Hall. My door is always open because my city councilor said I'm not allowed to close it. We came to Boys State, but we're leaving here as Men's State. Thank you.
All right, next up, but definitely not least, we have our candidates for governor. And the procedure will be a little bit different. These candidates get 4 minutes for their speeches, 4 minutes. So I'll now announce the first nominees for governor. From the Nationalist Party, we have 4-3, Nathan Wang. Now, from the Federalist Party, number 142, Dylan LaMello. The Nationalist Party candidate will go first. Chairman, please present your candidate. Instead, we're going to do a coin flip as it is the highest position, and yep. Where's the... Okay, ready? Who called it this time? All right, who called it last time? You called it last time? All right, so you call it this time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Tails. Federalist Party won the coin flip. Oh, you want to choose to be second? Okay, they've chosen to go second. So the Nationalist Party will speak first. Chairman, come up, present your candidate.
The Nationalist candidate for governor is Nathan Wang Chicken Wing 0043.
I'm Nathan Wang of Manay City, Roosevelt County, number 0043. You can call me Chicken Wang or Wang Man, either is fine. I'd like to thank the Marines and counselors of Boy State, and thanks to the Nationalists who elected me and the Federalists who have already showed their support. And a special thank you to Staff Sergeant Stark for completely flipping over my bed, and Mr. Bowers and Mr. Goonan for their excellent advice. My father grew up in the 1960s during Chairman Mao's communist regime and the so-called Great Leap Forward. As part of this cultural revisionism, all secondary and university-level institutes were closed. The Chinese society at this time believed every citizen should work to boost agricultural production, and people who read books were publicly shamed. My father and his family were sent to the countryside, but he found some textbooks that had not been collected and burned. So when he was not working in the field, he was reading. And when he was not reading, he was dreaming about a better, brighter future. Today, my dad is one of the top scientists in his field and has made life-saving contributions to medicine. I am deeply proud that he achieved his dream without ever having gone to high school. My pride for him is also pride for my country. The pride in knowing that the American dream, that you can be successful if you work hard, is real and alive for immigrants. These are the values I have been raised with. The understanding that though freedom has been guaranteed to me all my life, it is not a guarantee for many, as well as the will and strength to persevere no matter what. These are the values I live by every day, and these are the values I promise to lead by. And believe me, I've already worked like hell to get here. Every hour of free time I had after school, I spent coding or reading for my internship at RPI. I spent hundreds of hours on my project, and I was among the 1,600 finalists chosen worldwide from 7 million to attend the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. Hands down the most prestigious and selective pre-college STEM competition. Professors have told me the work I have done is comparable to what their PhD students are doing. Did you know that we are in the golden age of technology? Society has changed more and discovered more in the past 100 years than in the past 10,000. And you can be sure that whatever we do in the next 100 will shape the next 10,000. That is why we, on the 100th anniversary of the American Legion, are poised to introduce real, impactful policy to promote the expansion of industry and technology while being responsible for the government and the environment. America has always been the leader of innovation. We have the great Thomas Edison, who had a lab here in New York State. We share the same nation as Henry Ford, who pioneered the assembly line. We are all inspired by Elon Musk, who hopes to bring humanity to Mars. These are just a few of the incredible men and women who have given America its reputation for discovery. Today, the decision falls on us whether we, as the futures of not just America, but of the entire world, will carry on their legacy. This is the type of nationalism we nationalists represent, not the unswerving and blind obedience of the brainwashed citizens of totalitarian regimes, but the kind of pride that propels not just us forward, but all of human civilization. Thank you.
Next up, we have our Federalist Party chairman. Come on up. Introduce your candidate.
The Federalist candidate for governor is Dylan LaMello.
Got it. Can you guys in the back hear me? My name is Dylan LaMello. I'm from the Federalist Party. I'm not even going to say what county and city I'm from because I'm from Boise State. That's where I'm from. Now, I'm not going to go exactly into what makes me special because, like most of you, I'm relatable, all right? I'm just like everybody else here. I don't have that unique, special background. I'm like all of you guys, and that makes me relatable and just like you guys. And that allows me to represent you guys better than anybody else. And now, what makes me special and why you should vote for me for governor is because I make myself special. Again, I don't have that special background. I can do what others can't, and I can make myself special, and that's how I approach myself. Now, with all respect to qualifications, a governor should not be decided on academic certifications and computer programming skills, but the content of the man's character, the passion that he possesses, and his ability to successfully lead the people. Now, with that said, governors govern, all right? They don't need academic certifications to be governor because governors get things done. And now I'm not just going to say that I'm going to get things done. I'm going to give you an example and maybe a story because we all like stories of how I get things done. So about a year ago, I started my own business. This business was just like this little hobby that I like to do. I just customized sneakers, I touched things up for people, and that's what I did. I made a little bit of money doing that, but I wanted to do something greater. I wanted to do something big. Now, I feel like everybody is born for a reason, and I felt that I was born to lead and to help other people. So with that skill that I had, with that skill that I possessed, I went to my local church. I went to my priest, and I asked him if I could speak in front of Mass. I spoke in front of 7 masses, and I asked several hundred people for lightly worn sneakers. I took all of these sneakers, I touched them up myself. I put them into my washing machine, I desanitized them, and after that, not to mention, my priest is from Ishiagu, Nigeria. He was going back on a trip recently, and I decided I was going to send over a shipment of sneakers with him to Ishiagu, Nigeria, to those kids that are less fortunate. as we can all agree here, we are more fortunate than some others, and they aren't. We all are leaders here. We are all equally intelligent, because if we weren't all leaders, if we weren't all equally intelligent, we would not be sitting here behind me. We would not be here today. And now, I just want to quickly brush up on what I will actually do as governor. I have already spoken to the Federalist Party about my proposals of bills. And briefly, raise your hand if you are sweaty below the waist. Just raise your hand. Sitting right now, raise your hand if you are sweaty below the waist. Now, as governor, I actually have the power to propose bills. I actually have the power to propose bills. And one of those bills, I will propose that until that point of time of the parade, all khaki pants will be optional. I can do that, actually. It's a proposal, not a promise. And now, to wrap things up, as the national hero, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, Dylan LaMello, 0142, God bless America.
Order! Order. All right, we have to start. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on to a Q&A session between the two governor candidates. Since the Federalist Party won the coin toss, they've decided to answer second. So we need 6 people that are willing to ask these candidates questions, 3 from each side. If the state officers could help organize that. Both nominees stand up and come on the stage.
Testing.
I mean, it's only 1 minute, so we're not voting now. No, we're not. Thank you. So you get to go second this time, but then he gets to go the second question. Yeah, here's your side. Each candidate gets 1 minute to respond to the question.
The question should be neutral, right?
Yes. Good point. Please make sure that these questions are neutral, as both candidates have to answer each of the questions. They should not be biased. So ensure that you have a question that both candidates can answer. I'm just trying to do my job, bro. Come on.
Ready?
All right, from the right side, do you want to hear his question or not? Quiet down. We have to get through his question, right? Don't you want to get out of here? Exactly. Okay, first question.
Hi, my name is Nick. I'm from Shiberling. My question is kind of directed towards Wang, but both can answer it equally. Through your speech, you didn't really mention how you wanted to help Boys State. It was really more of stuff your father did and accomplishments you have done. And I want both of you guys to expand on how you can help us as people you'd be governing at Boys State.
Thank you for your question. In the second half of my speech, I mentioned how technology is becoming ever more present in our society. And the thing is, what happens at Boys State goes to politicians. Politicians will see what our platform is. So if we take environmental policy, and if we take government regulation, environmental regulation, start teaching more computer science in schools, they'll see where our concern is at, and they will move towards that direction. So that's on a larger scale. On a smaller scale, I can also talk about increasing lunch times, making pants mandatory, but I like thinking on a bigger scale.
Thank you again for your question, and it's a great question. So as I already mentioned that I will propose a bill with the khaki pants, but that's not what's really important. What's really important is what I can do for you, and I, as governor, have the power to do what the people want me to do. If you guys have anything that you want me to do, I will do it. And I run strictly on my platform, and I believe that the middle class, and raise your hand if you're from the middle class, let's be honest. I believe that the middle class is overtaxed, and what I could do for Boise State, I can listen to your voices and help get a bill proposed to the actual legislation of New York State to help the middle class and lower taxes for property taxes and a lower income for the middle class.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm gonna get booed again. It's all good. Okay. Second question. We're gonna now bring it over that he has to respond first because we're just gonna alternate every single question. So you're next.
Is this working? There it is. All right, cool. Hi, my name is Coleman Savage from Cocatec County. I'm curious if there's any more policy you'd like to talk about. I didn't really get a lot of that, and as a senator and some of my other fellow senators and assemblymen may want to know what exactly you're pushing for the people, and I didn't really get much of that. Could you elaborate for me?
Can you restate it one more time? We didn't hear it.
Could you elaborate or tell us what policy you're pushing? As a senator, I want to know what's going on.
May I just ask you a clarification question? When you ask for the people, do you mean the people of Boise State or the people of New York State? What do you exactly mean, like policy?
Currently, the people of Boise State is that is who we will be directly affecting.
Okay. That's a great question, by the way. So, in terms of policy for Boise State, what I can do for you guys, and if this answers your question, whatever you guys want me to make as a policy, I hear your voices. Whatever you guys want as a policy, I will do to the best of my ability to get that policy completed. And the policies that I have or proposed, again, it's with the khaki pants and shorter lunchtime. But again, these are just propositions that I could do at any time. In terms of more on a, I guess, state level, I am very for the, and hear this entire thing out, the capital punishment on only certain cases of first-degree homicide and pedophiles and rapists, but that is personally, and terrorist attacks.
So I actually have a really great policy direction that I want to pursue, and I've done a lot of research in it. And in that, if you look at society right now, there's a new trend in artificial intelligence that's literally changing every single industry. And if you look at countries like China, they're already teaching their middle school students how to use artificial intelligence. The United States hasn't picked up on that yet. So if we want to stay at the head of innovation, we need to start teaching these types of skills in schools. And also, like he mentioned, whatever we do here at Boise State can be made into a bill and actually passed to the New York State legislature. In all fairness, I do not believe you're going to get a tax cut passed because that is highly controversial. As well as the death penalty, it's highly controversial. But just teaching more in the STEM fields in schools is already extremely popular. So I believe what I propose has bipartisan support, and I'm the best one to execute this vision because of my experience in science.
Please be quiet during their answers. Okay. Some of the audience couldn't hear it, so you gotta be quiet, all right? Just work with me here. We're trying to work. All right, which side is next? You're next? Yeah, go next.
Hello. Hi, I'm Nick Karchmer, and I was wondering on the opinions of both candidates. Is the Constitution a living document in your opinion?
Do you hear that? Yeah, the Constitution
Is the Constitution a living document and what?
That's the whole question. Is the Constitution a living document?
Is the Constitution a living document?
Is the Constitution a living document? Yeah.
The Constitution is absolutely a living document. That's why the process of amendments was created. Some people like to believe, for example, to think about things in the way that the founders meant for the law to be written. I don't think that's a good idea because society has changed so much in these 300 years. Back then, America was far more racist, far more different. There was just a lot of different opinions. As society changes, the law should change and adapt as well.
Just want to thank you again for asking such a great question. I completely agree. The Constitution has to be a living document. It's not really my choice at this point. It completely has to be a living document because, and like he said, society is changing day by day. People need to adapt to these changes, and we need to completely agree with this living document. We need to keep going with this document and make the changes that our society is changing with us. So if that answers your question, I hope it does.
Thank you.
Next question. You can just go. Just go.
Yeah. What personal experience do you both have as a leader?
One personal experience you both have as a leader. One personal experience or what?
No, all the personal experiences as a leader you
All
both
of the
have.
personal experiences each of you has as a leader.
Thank you for asking a good question, and I guess I don't want to make this a list. I'll state them like you asked me to. I have been captain of my football and lacrosse teams, and I know a lot of people have been captains of their teams. But what makes that so special is I can lead a team. And us, one boys state, we are a team, but we're more than a team. We're a family. And with that qualification, I can lead all of you, and that's not a skill that everybody has. Another skill, I have started my own business and organization, like I mentioned before. Starting up something, it takes a lot of leadership roles. It takes a lot of leadership to get everybody on your side. So I just wanted to keep it brief, keep it to 2 maybe, but I hope that answers your question.
So my leadership experience really accentuates my communication. For example, I volunteered to mentor calculus to college students in my region. I also mentor a science research program where I teach 8th grade students how to implement the best science project. And to communicate these ideas across, you need great communication. Also at my internship, where I've spent hundreds of hours, I wasn't working alone. Science is rarely done alone. I had to attend lab meetings every Friday. I had to give presentations every Friday to graduate students. I had to learn how to handle criticism, how to adapt to their criticism, and how to implement new things.
Okay. You're next on that side. Be quiet. We have to get through the questions. Okay, right side, you're up.
It's been great hearing about your achievements, academic or otherwise. However, in my opinion, one of the most important qualities of a good leader is perseverance. Can both of you cite personal moments in your life, unrelated to your family background or such, where you have had to persevere in order to achieve success?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again there?
Hearing both of you list your personal achievements, academic or otherwise, has been great. But in my opinion, one of the most important qualities of a good leader is perseverance. Can both of you cite personal moments in your lives where you've had to persevere in order to achieve success?
personal moments in your life in order to achieve success with perseverance. Okay, who went last? I mean, who went first?
Before I answer your question, I'd like to clarify one thing. What I say about my father's perseverance, when I say my father is a very persevering man, that does not necessarily imply that I am very persevering. What I mean is that his perseverance has inspired me to work hard and persevere myself. So I am hardworking due to my own credit. He is my inspiration. And as for examples of where I showed perseverance, I want to go back to my science project where I spent hundreds of hours. There were many times where I felt like I couldn't do it. The amount of stuff I had to get done felt overwhelming. And when I looked at other people's projects, I felt they were so much better than mine, and that was just really discouraging at times. And how I got over that, how I persevered, was to remind myself that science, deep down, isn't about beating others and competing with others. It's about discovering things and helping society. So that's how I moved forward.
All right, I'm going to answer your question. So one example of perseverance in my life, I don't want to relate this all to sports, but I was cut from my 7th grade team, like way back in the day. And for a young kid, that's a tough experience, let's be real. But since then, that encouraged me and that made me persevere to be the person that I am today. That made me want to work even harder to be where I am today, speaking in front of you as a nominee for governor. And that motivated me to become the captain of my team. I didn't even make the team. I went all the way, all through those years of hard work to become where I am today, and that's how I persevered, if that answers your question.
Last and final question, left side.
All right, so I think it's great that you guys have all these accomplishments, from making science fairs to donating shoes to Nigeria, but as governor, you guys need to be well-rounded. You've got a room full of kids who are interested in mock trials, sports, Model UN, I mean, all these different things. So what's gonna make you qualified to relate to all of us? Because if you're all one-sided, why should I listen to you? What should that make me want to follow you for?
That's a really great question, and thank you again for coming up and asking that question. Excuse me? Oh.
No, you're good, you're good.
He wanted to quiet you guys down again, so. When I think about leadership, like you're asking, I know we both didn't mention the governor thing because honestly, we both had great speeches and it took up a lot of our time. And so when you say that, I think I'm a relatable person because I don't have that special background like a lot of you people have. I'm relatable to you guys and I want to represent you guys because I've talked to many people outside of my county and they've talked to me and I've listened to every single one of their voices. And if you want to maybe ask a follow-up question because you're allowed to do that, as governor, again, I'll listen to all of you, and really that's the most important thing. If you want something done, I will do the best that I can do to make sure that you guys are the best that you guys can be as well. So that's what I will do.
So you're saying you can relate to people, but what makes you qualified to talk to everybody, not just people outside your county, people of all different interests and activities and stuff?
I'm sorry, but his time is up, so he has no response time. But that will be our last question, so everybody please sit down.
Can we get a different guy on stage? Because I'm tired of the booing.
Can the person who asked the question go back to the microphone? Okay. So I didn't have time to mention this in my speech, but I'm also an avid debater. I have 3 years of experience doing Lincoln-Douglas debate, which is one-on-one, and I've covered topics from limiting qualified immunity for police officers, whether or not housing should be a right, how countries should donate foreign aid to each other. So I know how to look into policy, I know how to construct an argument, and the fact that in Lincoln-Douglas you have to debate on both sides makes you understand the corresponding ground in each position, so I am also good at compromise. And like you said, it is definitely a great quality for a leader to be well-rounded, but if you look at, for example, our current president, his focus is on immigration. His focus is on immigration, stopping illegal immigration. And whether or not you agree with that, it just shows that a leader has to focus on something specific. And as a leader, I will focus on a large scale on the science and math and the development of technology in our society.
All right, next up we have our lobbyist proposition. Okay. Next up we have our lobbyist proposition. Nominees, you can sit down. The proposition is, should vaccinations be mandatory in New York State? Supporting the yes spokesman will be Alexander Gore, number 0123. Where is he? And opposing and being our no spokesman is Daniel May, number 0096. The delegates will get 2 to 3 minutes to propose to you their position. First up, we have Alexander Gore, 123.
Like he said, my name is Al Gore and my number is 123. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Should New York State require mandatory vaccinations? The CDC is monitoring 6 outbreaks of measles in the United States. The 2 biggest outbreaks both occurred in our very own state of New York. This is a crucial matter of state security. The arguments for mandatory vaccinations are twofold. First, there is overwhelming medical evidence in support of the effectiveness and benefits of vaccines in protecting the ones that we love. Second, the legal precedent is already set for restrictions of religious and philosophical rights in states of emergency. Not receiving vaccinations is truly a worldwide emergency that must be handled, but it can begin here with our very own state. In an increasingly populated planet, there can be one event credited to the expansion of human society, and that is vaccines. But recently, a terrifying trend of anti-vaccination has been sweeping our nation. An example of a country that has already taken precaution with vaccines is Australia. During the period of 1926 to 1935, there were 4,037 deaths due to diphtheria in Australia. However, diphtheria vaccinations were also made mandatory in that period. After just 3 decades, that number decreased to 0. Australia has an extremely similar population to New York, showing just how feasible it would be for our state. Furthermore, the CDC estimates that vaccinations have prevented more than 21 million hospitalizations and 732,000 deaths among children born in the last 20 years. And that includes each and every one of you. One objection you may have is that the First Amendment might be violated under laws such as this. Fortunately, there is legal precedent that has been set for cases such as these. In the cases of Oberfell v. Hodges and Bowen v. Roy, the Supreme Court ruled that the First Amendment right to exercise religion freely must end when it begins to violate the rights of other people. And as we know, everyone in America has a right to life. Moreover, in the case of Schenck v. U.S., the Supreme Court ruled specifically that the First Amendment rights can be limited if there is a clear and present danger. With 275 new cases of measles reported in Rockland County, New York alone this year, the danger is clear and present. We stand for the right to life for everyone. Vaccines should be mandatory in New York State. Thank you.
Next up, we have our opposing spokesman, Daniel May, number 0096.
Quick correction, Daniel May couldn't make it, so I'm the follow-up. My name's Aiden Court, 0707 from Long.
I'd like to start with a story about a 6-month-old baby named Bentley. His mother took him to the doctor's office, where upon arrival, the doctor pushed 13 vaccines for Bentley against his mother's judgment. Bentley later died in his mother's arms due to these vaccine-related complications, leaving behind his parents and older sister to grieve for him. These events are rare, but they still happen. People with stories such as Bentley's know far too well the dangers of mandated health decisions. The issue is not that vaccines are bad. We can all agree that they're good for many people. But forcing parents to turn against their constitutional rights regarding personal and family decisions is both immoral and undignified as citizens of the United States. Mandatory state vaccinations are a gross overstep of government power, forcing citizens to possibly violate their principles, whether they are based in religious foundations or not. All citizens of the United States are entitled to make decisions for themselves and not be required to make a choice that directly conflicts with their core values. Religious liberty is a cornerstone of the United States, and deeming it acceptable to force citizens to obtain vaccinations is in direct conflict with the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, specifically the portion creating freedom of religion. Quote, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Mandatory vaccinations prohibit the free exercise of religious practices based on convictions, violating the Constitution, especially a founding principle of which other rights and positions stem from, is an immense and serious infringement upon our honor and founding document. Not only does the establishment of mandatory vaccinations disregard the vitality of religious liberty and individual freedom, but vaccinations also pose serious health risks, and parents should be allowed to make that decision. Death is possible, as well as anaphylaxis, smallpox, and measles. Combining the assortment of dangers with these mandatory vaccinations, along with the blatant unconstitutionality of mandatory health decisions by the state, which are pushed by this bill, steamroll the First Amendment and make it clear that no man should see it fit to pass unconstitutional legislation. Thank you. Thank you. So now we are going to move to the platform committee proposals for each party. First up, we'll go with the Federalists. If you could send up your spokesman.
I just move this down so now, y'all. Damn, I look good today, right? Yeah. All right, hey, y'all. My name is Patrick Monroe from Gubernatorial County. I'm the county clerk. All right.
Let him speak. Come on.
Thank you. I give him some respect. It ain't easy being up here. All right. So yesterday at the Federalist, assembly, each county sent a representative to the back to come up with the Federalist Party platform. All right. So let's get started here now. Point 1. We Federalists will support tax breaks and the deregulation of business, with the exception of large national and multinational corporations. Thank you, thank you. Point number 2, we Federalists will push for less regulation on gambling in order to expand the industry and collect more taxes from gambling-related business. Point number 3, we Federalists will support state grants of at least $10 million for the construction of nuclear and renewable energy plants. Point number 4, we Federalists will push for the repeal and illegalization of all affirmative action programs in the private and public sector. Point number 5, we Federalists will move all non-lethal drugs down to regulation level, specifically cannabis and all CBD and THC products, to legalization. Yeah, there you go. Point number 6, we Federalists will push to make the entire state of New York a no-retreat state. Point number 7, we Federalists will support extended background checks on the purchase of firearms in order to keep them out of the wrong hands. Don't worry. There's more to that. Hold on, there's more to that later. You'll see. All right, point number 8. We will require citizens over the age of 65 years old to retake a Department of Motor Vehicles road test every 5 years in order to ensure the safety of all drivers. Point number 9. We Federalists will push to extend funding for mental health research in all SUNY schools in order to obtain more solutions for mentally challenged citizens. All right, y'all ready for this one? This is a pretty good one. We Federalists will push to lower the minimum drinking age to 19 in order to expand the freedom of adult citizens under the age of 21. All right. All right, point number 11. We Federalists will push for equality between gender and state institutions, specifically between boys and girls state. All right. Point number 12. We Federalists support capital punishment in cases of first-degree homicide, mass murder, and terrorist-related felonies and offenses. Thank you. All right. Point number 13. We Federalists will push to reform disability and welfare to stricter requirements in order to stop the waste of taxpayer dollars on those who do not necessarily need government assistance. All right. Who here believes that their family is overtaxed? I believe that the state of New York overtaxes every aspect of the middle class. We Federalists will push to lower extremely high income and property taxes on the middle class, more specifically the 15 to 90% of people. All right, point number 15. All right, let's be honest here. Who here's roads suck, city and upstate? My roads suck, being honest. All right, we Federalists will pledge to increase funding for our crumbling infrastructure and public transportation by 50% or more of its current budget. All right. Point 16A. We Federalists pledge not to support or fund the sanctuary of illegal immigrants, specifically in New York City, Syracuse, and cities across Long Island. All right. Point 16B. We Federalists pledge to support and promote all immigration control enforcement agents within the state of New York, specifically ICE agents. All right. Last point, ready? Point 17. We Federalists will push to legalize all Class 3 firearms, specifically assault rifles, fully automatic pistols, rifles, and light machine guns. God bless the United States of America. Thank you all.
Next up, we have our nationalist platform. Chairman, can you please introduce him?
Guys, as a chairman up here, I'm just letting you guys know it's not easy to speak up here, so can we please respect him as he tells you guys to be quiet? Our platform spokesman for the Nationalist Party is Luke, Deep Voice Kasich, 0609.
Hello, I am Luke Kasich, number 0609. The party platform for the Nationalist Party. The first topic is health care. First issue is mandatory vaccinations for everyone. The next topic is the economy. The Nationalist Party is pro-business, giving tax cuts to businesses and lowering taxes on the middle class. The next topic is infrastructure. The Nationalist Party believes that we need to improve the roads in New York State. Next topic is marijuana. We believe that marijuana should be decriminalized and medical marijuana should be legalized. Our next topic is government reform. We want to limit the governor to only 2 term limits, limit bailouts and subsidies, limit bailouts and subsidies that the government issues to failing businesses, and reduce government officials' salaries. The next topic is immigration. We believe that New York State should no longer have any sanctuary cities, and illegal immigrants should no longer receive any state benefits. We also believe that New York State should fully cooperate with federal agencies like ICE. The next topic is the environment. We believe that companies that degrade the environment should be fined, and that neglected areas of New York State should receive more funding to help clean up their environment. The next topic is education. We believe that vocational skills should be pushed more in school, and that a civics class should be required for high school graduation. And finally, our last topic is Boys State. We believe that there should be one arrival time for all the buses, and that sunglasses should be allowed with uniform.
All right, now we're going to have the party chairman give a last hurrah for each of your parties. And we'll begin with the party that won the first coin toss. He's chosen to go second, so Nationalist Party chairman is going to go first.
Can we give it up for our nationalist candidates up here? One last time. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Thank you.
Federalist chairman, come on up.
All right, guys. So let's vote for the more qualified candidate, the one who's going to do the most change, who's going to be the most positive for Boys State. All right. So, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Yeah! There we go.
All right, that concludes our political rally. I'm going to turn this over to Councilor Bolgan. Thank you.
All right, some of you guys had a lot of fun at his expense. He had a tough job. He handled it very well. Let's give our moderator a round of applause. Okay, what I'm going to ask you to do now is, each county has a table with computers for the voting. So I've been asked to tell you to look for your county counselor, and they'll be near the table where you're supposed to be voting. So right now, I'm going to turn things over to the county counselors to organize their groups and get the voting started. Thank you very much.